Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a Premier League presentation bringing you guys a game between Kaipi Gaming and Fnatic. This is going to be a best of one between these two teams in round 2 to decide who is going to be moving on into the grand final, securing either first or second place as far as the point values go, and who's going to be dropping down to that third place decider to see who's going to be taking third and fourth. But yeah, these two teams going up against one another here. I believe this was the first time they've matched up in the Premier League Season 5 specifically, but of course they have matched up plenty of different times in other different engagements here. So it should be interesting, of course, with 6.78. I'm curious to see how Fnatic has adapted their strategy even further than what we saw in their first round game. Either way, this is going to be it for the introduction here. Thank you guys so much for tuning on into Premier League Season 5. I am Blaze, and here's Triumph. What's up?
I'm fine. I'm going to assume that is error once again there. I know it's good to see Fnatic back at full strength. Obviously, they've had people away traveling and they've been in a bit of a slump recently. I was saying there's going to be a match between two of the most maligned teams. So many people give these guys flack. Fnatic flack, Kaipi flack. I don't think they deserve half the flack they get, to be honest. I think the community's way too hateful on that terms. And to quote Fnatic, see you at TI3, haters. Gotta say, I'm looking forward to see them play at the International 3. But Kaipi, now they played some very aggressive games against Mousesports. I think we'll probably see them default to more. They tend to favour the late game, so I think they're going to default back towards that. It's just particularly against Quant. Oh, maybe not. Never mind. We've got a life stealer being picked up here, so maybe they're going for that. And Lone Druid as well. So no, it looks like Kaipi are going to be. They're on a roll here. They said, you know what? Let's get aggressive again. Fnatic, on the other hand, tend to sort of try and draw things out, split push, run around the map, and just cause a lot of havoc. So they don't really have to worry that much about someone sort of hiding and farming tons and tons and tons. It's a lot easier for them to shut that down. But Kaipi looks like they're going for those early pushes, early fights there this time around.
Exactly that. So they have a lot of push potential, they have a lot of aggression, and yeah, they're going to have two mean heroes that can just put out a huge amount of physical damage very quickly, either slowing them down with the open wounds or with the orb of venom and then the entangles. Kaipi's going to be in a great position to do wreak a lot of havoc, do a lot of damage. It looks like it's probably going to be Eternal Envy on the Lifestealer again, and that will leave Lone Druid to be picked up, presumably by Bone 7. But we do see Fnatic picking up their Bat Rider for the mid lane. That'll most likely be Hani there. Generally goes for Blink, Force Staff, and Boots of Travel as far as his initiation tools, but the big thing is how well off he's going to be in that 1v1 scenario. I mean, we have seen Trixie run the Bat Rider as well, so don't want to count that out as a possibility, but the big thing here is they want to guarantee the Bat Rider gets good early farm, because they need that lasso to be in close proximity to Lifestealer in order to shut him down. It's just guaranteed how they're going to win this game. So starting things off, they have the Bat Rider, they have the Visage, and we're going on into banning phase 2.
I would say a big bonus for Kaipi here, the fact that Fnatic banned off Bane for them, so they don't have to worry about that with the Lone Druid. So Lone Druid should be able to get up to some shenanigans with the pulling and the jacking of creeps, making sure that they can pull him back to the safety of his tower and just cause a lot of trouble with that. But now Phantom Lance are going to be banned out there, so Kaipi going to take that one out. Puck also being banned up by Fnatic, so we're not going to see RTZ on that. And of course, we saw exactly how devastating he was against Mousesports. My god, did he cause some serious havoc that match. And he managed to win out that mid too, so we're going to see that one banned out, so Fnatic getting a bit of respect banned there. I want to see if Fnatic are going to do something a little bit different. Obviously, last match we saw Quantic go a bit crazy with their lineup, maybe not quite as crazy as them, but I want to see Fnatic run something, because I mean, they're a team that will experiment quite frequently, so I want to see if they'll do something different, but that said, they haven't really been back together, so they might just stick to the basics, seeing as we've only just got Era back. But fourth ban here from Kaipi. At the moment, Fnatic probably looking for their... That's it. They're probably looking for the offlane at the moment. I'm fairly sure Bat Rider is going to be played by Hani, so I'm pretty sure Bat Rider is going to wipe solo mid, so they're probably looking to ban off the support players as well as the carries for Era. In fact, they've mostly banned the carries there, the Gyrocopter and the Phantom Lancer.
So yeah, taking out some of the late game potential there. Obviously, they already have theirs kind of wrapped under their belt, and so they're just like, okay, what do we want to not have to deal with? Obviously, they don't want to have to go for Cleave and Maelstrom effects to deal with the Phantom Lancer. They just kind of want to play their style, go for Armlets and Desolators, and possibly Radiance on the Bear. So that kind of thing is nullified by not having to worry about the Phantom Lancer, and of course the Gyrocopter is just a frustrating, very flexible carry, so taking those on out, as well as the Nature's Prophet, which would have been likely picked up by Trixie if he wasn't already running the Bat. So does take another one of their options out of their pool. Definitely heroes they would have been trying to pick up on if they had the ability to do so. So in the end, we do see Queen of Pain is going to be banned out as well. So Puck and Queen of Pain taken out to make sure that Arteezy doesn't have as great of utility as far as gank-oriented intellect heroes on the mid lane.
I mean, they've still got the Stormer if they want to go for that. I actually would like to see, like, I'd like the fact they're banning that, not just because RTC is scary as all hell with the Queen of Pain in the Puck, but more the fact that they're taking those mobility heroes, making sure that it's going to be a lot harder to get the Nakes bombs in there. We see the Dragon Knight picked up as well by Fnatic. Okay, then. So Vengeful Spirit, those have got some negative armor as well. They're lifesteal, and it looks like they're just going to go for the whole, let's bring a target to lifesteal this time around. That said, I would kind of like to see the Storm, but that said, we've got the Bat Rider here who can sort of pick him off fairly easily, even if he gets the early BKB. And Dragon Knight as well, that stun is devastating. If you get the Dragon Tail down on Storm, pretty much lights out for him. He's not really tough enough to survive through that. So I think we probably...
10 seconds.
I think Kaipi might just focus on the early pushes here if they can. They've got the Clockwork as well for initiation. So actually that looks like that's how they get it lifesteal in the fight. Infest Clockwork and then hook their way in and pin somebody into the into the Thunderdome with Clockwork. Oh, that's going to sting if you get caught in there with that lifestealer.
So that's going to be a good lockdown potential. I mean, that's really what they want to do is close the distance. They have a lot of range of initiation, and they can screw people over so hardcore. So a cool thing as well is they can play very defensively. If somebody gets Dragon Tail stunned by the DK, then they can cogs them defensively. They can swap them out of a bad position. So a single stun is not going to be the end-all be-all of initiation. The Enigma might be a different story. We'll have to see about that. But the big thing here is that, in general, the range of initiation from Kaipi is much stronger, especially once that Lone Druid gets some good movement speed up. They can just close the distance, race car around, and let VS and Clockwork do the talking with their respective ultimates. So a lot of potential there. Again, we see the Enigma picked up right into the Vengeful Spirit's hands, so interesting to see that in particular. But there are a couple benefits. We saw it still used to rather great effect previously. And one major thing is the counter push and the push. Vengeful Spirit controls things pretty well with the Aura and with the Wave of Terror, and you can deal with that much more effectively if you can one-shot a creep and then have a couple of your own to fight back a little bit with those Eidolons. So effective there. And of course, there's still going to be some fights where you get at least a two-man black hole to come across, and that's going to be setting it up so that DK can do his AoE splash damage, Batrider can lay down some Firefly, they can just really make it work for them. Even the familiars can get in a great position if they can get a solid black hole. They're not going to be 100% reliant on it. They have enough team fight with the other three heroes to make it work one way or another, but it is nice to have.
I think it's just gonna be the last match. They'll just use it as a. They're just gonna get Enigma, use him for his push value, get the mech, get the maybe an urn, something like that. Just getting those early little items, and then Batrider and DK are gonna cause a huge freaking mess in the middle of the fight. Force Kaipi to try and engage, and then Enigma's just gonna swoop in off that. Sven though, the final ban for Kaipi. I'm not. That's a little interesting. I honestly don't know if they would have been able to work that in there. That's an interesting ban there for Kaipi. I'm not really sure why that one's come in, but. And then what do I know? Fnatic, though, have decided to ban out the Rubik. That's also, I suppose, oh well, nice. The Rubik makes perfect sense because obviously you don't really want them to have a Rubik support who can just steal Black Hole. So that makes perfect sense there. But Slark, wow. Okay, I'm looking at that. Is this support? This is actually possibly support Clockwork, I guess.
Yeah.
Or no.
No, I don't know. I think as far as that situation, they could still run their heroes solo. But, I don't know. They're definitely going to have Slark in the mid lane. That's guaranteed. So, along with that, I was thinking offlane Clockwork and Jungle Druid, but it would be very greedy. It would be making it so that they could get farm on the Clockwork, and that would help them a lot as far as initiating. But it would make it much more difficult to actually do it reasonably. What I think is more likely is Slark mid, Stallone Druid safe lane, and then an aggressive tri-lane involving Clockwork and Vengeful Spirit as supports. So, I think that's the best way to do it because they know they're up against an Enigma, and in this case, they believe they're up against a jungle Enigma. Now, it could be a jungle Batrider, but either way, what it means is that bottom lane isn't going to be as strong as they want it to be. So, Dragon Knight probably in the mid, Visage, and another carry down on bottom, and that's where Kaipi's going to hit hard.
I honestly don't. I can't really see them running a greedy, like farm-oriented lineup with the jungling because I honestly don't think they can afford to because they're up against Dragon, they're up against Enigma, Visage even, and if they give room for Batrider to free farm, I think that's just going to go poorly for them. So I really think, yeah, they've got to go with the aggressive tri-lane. That said, what are they going to be up against? Dragon Knight, Visage, depends what the final hero is here. I mean, they could even, Fnatic may even just abandon this suicide lane. They might actually just put all hands on deck down in the bottom lane there and have tri-lane plus the junglers, so we'll see what they decide to go with. I mean, they could always... Although that's the Dragon, it's probably going to wind up... Actually, no, if they play it like last time, it's probably going to be handing the mid with the Dragon Knight, actually, now that I think of it. So it's going to be Visage supporting somebody, Enigma in the jungle. The question is who they're going to put Era on right now. That's their last pick here. They're looking for the primary farm hero, the number one hero, to pick go with that Visage. And the question is what he's going to choose to go with it.
It's a difficult
I
position
honestly
to be
don't
in
know
because you can't go something that can be picked off easily. They have too much lockdown for that. They have Pounce, they have the Swap, they have the Clockwork, but dashing that
No-tell
away,
Meepo?
they go for a freaking Meepo.
No-tell Meepo, here we go!
Yeah.
Alright,
if you're picking it, you
wants
better
We're
give it a
gonna have
freaking no-tail. I gotta say that, though. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. This is something that I actually haven't had the pleasure of casting, though I have checked out a number of VODs. Just amazed at this guy's perfect micro skills. But let's see how it comes in here. It's definitely going to be farm priority, but the one thing they're going to have to emphasize here is giving him experience. So Visage going to have to carefully position so that Meepo prioritizes that experience, gets his early level 6, and farms hard for that Aghanim Scepter to make sure that he can make a big impact, because he did get buffed. He now has 35% innate magic resistance on him and all of his clones, and stacking some hard strength will mean that he's going to be able to do a lot, and even if he gets entangled or something like that, he can come in with the other 4 swinging. So a lot of potential, but we'll have to see if Kaipi is able to punish it, or if it's actually going to go with him getting to that critical mass level with a huge amount of HP, and of course 5 little guys chewing on through anybody's HP.
I don't think the buff's really going to play a huge difference here. Obviously, I mean, you look at Kaipi's height; it's mostly physical and minus armor. So, I mean, that won't make a huge difference. Obviously, it'd be nice to take a bit less damage from the rocket flare, the magic missile. I think the interesting is Meepo is a bit of a weird hero. Like, he sort of carries by out-farming it, like racing the other team to level 16. And the question is whether or not he's going to get the room to do it, because Lone Druid is sort of going to hit that 20-minute window where if he's left alone, he picks up the Radiance, and then he causes so much trouble. And suddenly, and especially if this aggressive trialing comes out, I just don't know if he's going to get the room to farm. He really needs to get that early level 6 so he can start farming multiple lanes / jungle at the same time. That's his big deal. Like, he really needs to sort of roll out of control quickly on the experience train. And if Kaipi does go offensive trialing, I don't know how he's going to get that. They might need to rotate him away from it quickly, but then they're just going to have the supports chase him around the map. So that's my biggest worry here for No-Tail. I don't know how they're going to handle that.
So, in this position here, starting off with the draft, who do you think has more potential to make things happen in the early game? And if you had to make a call right now as far as who do you think is going to be able to take this game away in whole, and knowing what you know about the teams, what would you say?
I'm going to have to say Kaipi. I think Meepo is going to have trouble getting to where he needs to be quickly enough, and we're seeing exactly. I mean, this is Kaipi just dropped Mouse Sports 2 games in a row. Like, the last 2 engagements with Mouse Sports, Kaipi have dropped them with this early aggressive lineup. Obviously, the Slark is a bit of a spanner in the works. I'm honestly not too sure how they're going to work with him. That said, I mean, this is the other big deal. Slark is so mobile around the map. He's always going to be really aggressive. Even if he's not getting the kills, he's going to be roaming this jungle. Once he gets that 6, he's going to be roaming around the enemy jungle so frequently, just looking for the potential to try and knock down Meepo and just basically chase him out of there. So that is probably going to play a fairly large factor, especially if he's bringing the Lifestealer with him. I think that's the other thing, because obviously he is really, really fast, really mobile. He can just he can just go race carring around and just bring Bone 7 with him, causing a lot of trouble. So that does worry me somewhat. Yeah, I like the Meepo pick in just the fact it's Meepo, but in this case, I don't think it's going to work for him. I really think it's going to be a big hindrance.
Yeah. Well, trying to make something happen here. If he does get going, it will be pretty amazing, but like you said, there's just so many different ways they can pick him off and chew him on down. So,
is he mid?
Right now, it looks like he is heading towards the safe lane, so that should be the most reasonable. I mean, Dragon Knight definitely is more suited for that kind of environment, but yeah, we'll have to see exactly how it plays itself out.
Yeah, because he's camping gold. He camped gold and ran to the mid lane. I thought, wait a minute, is he going mid with this? Because he's decided to leave 200 gold. Maybe he's saving it for wards in case they need to de-ward or pull or something.
Oh, maybe more so. Like, I mean, honestly, items really early on is very important for Meepo. I would think maybe a Ring of Protection could be okay because you can build Tranquils or Bassi out of it. But I don't know. Maybe he just wants to pick up the Boots of Speed early. It's really... There's a lot of different ways to do it. I've also seen No-Tail go bottle on Meepo and put more emphasis on the jungle with a lot of poof action. But really, it's just kind of wherever he wants to go as far as emphasis on which lane and so on and so forth. So it's a flexible lineup, of course, having more gold at your disposal, but it's anybody's guess what he's actually going to pick up next.
I will say this at the very least, with the multiple nets, he will be able to lock down Slark really well, so there is that. I mean, maybe that's why they just throw him out there as the last pick, I don't know. But yeah, then again, I mean, Fnatic are known for just sometimes throwing out random stuff just for style points. I mean, they already have their International 3 invite, so there you go.
Sure enough.
That said, though, for this tournament, they do need to start stacking some wins on the board, because otherwise they're going to struggle to get into the finals. But Trixie going to be taking the solo safe lane by the looks of things.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting to see that come on out. He does have the Firefly, has a lot of vision, a lot of maneuverability.
Meepo is mid.
And yeah, they are going to have the mid lane Meepo. The one thing is they have to watch out. The haste rune just came on up, and the Sentinels are going to be blocking out the easy camp. It's actually pretty interesting because we were going to be looking at Enigma getting a lot of farm in the jungle, and now it's going to be very, very difficult. He's always going to be fighting medium to hard camps, and along with that, there's a lot of gank pressure coming out from Kaipi. Nevertheless, Arteezy versus No-Tail in the mid lane. He actually started off with Essence Shift, which is pretty interesting here, trying to go in for a stun, but not going to actually get the vision, unfortunately, on the high ground. And that haste expired just then. So, unfortunately, Paladin not finding the kill opportunity. No-Tail being cautious enough to survive. And I'm not sure if it would have been a kill because, again, Essence Shift was picked up. But either way, No-Tail looking for early farm. And it's going to be actually double Slippers coming out. He's going to pick up the Poor Man Shield to duel versus that Slark 1v1 more effectively.
Yeah, well, yeah, RTC probably picked up the Essence Shift straight away because he expected to be fighting against Dragonite, and he picked it up because you just hit Dragonite a few times, and then suddenly it's kind of like fighting the OD, no mana, goodbye mana. So you just keep hitting with that repeatedly, and it really, really makes it difficult. As well, if you just keep hitting him, it suddenly becomes really difficult to last hit as a melee hero. So that makes perfect sense to me, going for the Essence Shift first, because you're not really, unless you're planning to have like two supports gank at the same time, you're not going to get a level 1 first blood anyway. So it's not too bad, and like you're not really expected to get killed straight away at level 1 either. So you can afford to go without the leap in the middle.
Any idea what this courier's doing down in bottom lane? I've been trying to figure it out, and he's just kind of like heading down. I don't even know. Like he didn't go secret shop.
Probably someone. I think someone probably accidentally hit it with the binds and just moved it out.
Fair enough. Oh, okay, so up on top lane, this matchup here, we do see Honey and Arrow putting pressure out on top of that Spirit Barrier. He's still farming away pretty effectively. I mean, he is tallied up to 8 and 3 as far as his CS goes, and Paladai has been able to roam around here and there. So a lot of aggressive potential. We're actually going to see Meepo, bad spot here, going to try to get a KS, try to get a free first blood, but Fly has to take it away with the right clicks there, and that's going to just net Meepo some nice, easy experience. So he's happy for that. And no extra pounds going on mid lane. No-Tail was ready for it, though, coming around with the poof, cancels it out, knowing it would be out of range, but at least thwarts Arteezy's attempt to actually get a huge amount of damage out. And No-Tail picks up some CS himself, which is really hard to do because of Meepo's base damage. Either way, Arteezy coming in, he has pounce once more, and he did salve on up, so he's in pretty good position there, whereas No-Tail has to tango up extremely gradually.
I think he probably. I don't think he'd try and dive him onto the tower. If he tries to dive him on the tower, he's going to aggro the tower immediately, and Meepo's going to hit him with a poof and then start geostriking him. So I think probably the right choice to back off there.
Oh, but now Arteezy's tower might be another kill here coming on through. No-Tail will get a little bit of damage in return, but Arteezy not able to clean it up. Meepo was surprisingly durable to that Dark Pact because of that innate magic resistance.
Yeah, that too, and also the fact, I mean, he doesn't want to get caught out by multiple poofs because for a nuke, poof actually does a lot of damage. Like level 2, like even level 1 is 160. Very, very few nukes do that much at level 1. Level 2 is a flat 200 as well, so that is actually pretty scary to go up against. This is why Slark keeps backing off, because he will take a ton of damage against it. So I think it's the right choice to back off each time there. Looks at the bear. The question is, Envy's farming really. This is the thing though. Right now, the Dire side is farming a lot better, and this is a problem because Meepo, he's surviving this lane okay, but he's not getting the farm that well. He's only 3 CS at 3.5 minutes. That's not looking great. Whereas Slark's 20 and 3. Bear's doing great as well, 18 and 8. It might work out because Meepo's still getting experience, so he might just be able to use the poof through the jungle just to flash farm stuff, especially if people start stacking for it. But it looks like we've got a bit of a gank up on top. Potentially, no, a stun goes down there on Error. I assume that's Error, even though the name is wrong.
Yeah. So,
do we get any confirmation?
Actually, wasn't able to double check the Steam profile there, but I know he did run his name previously in the first game, so I'm not sure the difference. Actually, on mid lane though, might be an opportunity to actually bring him down this time around. No, just continuously harassing, forcing No-Tail to salve multiple times over. We're gonna see that come out right here as he does bring himself back up to nearly full HP. Essence Shift kind of doing a little bit of a favor, taking away 3 strength, so the salve's all that much more effective, and now it does tick him back up to maximum HP value. Trying to go for a preemptive poof. It's going to not allow him to... Oh, actually, Arteezy going deep here. This was pretty ballsy, but he knew that he couldn't be turned around by the poof, and he's just going to continually try to steal up those stats, try to gain an advantage here since he does have that bottle regeneration. But we do see down on bottom, there is a kill potential here. Trixie, roll more right click from Bone 7. Will allow them to get a kill. Come with me, looking for the cogs. Gonna still be in range, but looking for Fly to turn a corner here. Does actually catch him out when he tries to go for the Malphite stun. So now come with me, traps him on in, but doesn't have that battery cell for 5 more seconds. Just right clicking each other, back and forth, trying to go for the body blocks, but he will get in through the trees. One more Malphite. Wow, he's really just man-moding on it. Not really too afraid of what Clockwork brings. So in the meantime, we are going to see that is going to be Slark going for a rune spawn that will actually... Oh, no, I don't even know what he's doing. It's 5-minute runes, or 5-minute mark, so not really too much for him to be doing, but pops off his ulti, gets a little bit of vision, going in for the pounce on mid, hits on No Tail, and this should be a kill right here. One more right click to finish the job. Arteezy does pick that up for himself, so really, really important kill there. Is going to be able to provide him a huge amount of experience, and now Slark is going to go for a little bit of a steamroll momentum.
Yeah, Slark, of course, we're seeing once he gets out of control, he's really hard to slow down. But it looks like Come With Me should be able to walk away here alive. Unfortunately, Enigma can't run him down there, and Hanny is going to be rolling around there on Visage at the moment. No, and he is going to need some backup here. It looks as if Meepo is not working out in the mid lane at all, really struggling. Come With Me, though. Going to have to back off. He's got his boots, so in fact, he's actually... Wait a minute, did I read that correctly? Oh, right, no, it's the clockwork just backing up there. I was about to say, what the hell? I thought that was Slark for a moment. Only level 3, complete brain fart. But anyway, top lane, Dragon Knight at the moment, really struggling to pick up that CS. 15 and 60, the Bear is kind of manhandling him. Visage backed off for the most part, so he's not really getting a whole lot of help up here. I think mostly that right now they're trying to make sure the Batrider gets the farm down the bottom, which is actually a bit of trouble for Trixie. Trixie's probably going to get picked up here. Boxed in on both the high and the low ground. No escape for him at all, and will get beaten down there by Bone7. Getting the kill on him fairly nice and easy. Now, there we go. See, this is the issue. Like, look how mobile RTZ is now. He's all through the enemy jungle, putting on so much pressure. He hasn't managed to pick up the Enigma kill, but if he finds Enigma right, I think more than likely will kill him, although he's looking for the Meepo kill again. But this is the kind of pressure that they're going to be dealing with like the next 20 minutes. And he's going to be seriously problematic at any kind of farm. And here we go. Jungle now. Going to pounce. Going to Dark Pact as well. Going to get rid of the Maleficent. There we go. Burns him down so easy. Meanwhile, the top lane, Dragon Knight managed to bring down the Lone Druid at the very least.
Yep, 3-man gank there, so they were looking at that. And it looks like Trixie will be able to set up Death on Pilot Eye as well. So just trying to right-click that on down. The kill will go to the Batrider in the end. So Trixie moving in rapidly towards his Blink Dagger, but going for some durability first. Upgrading to tier 2 boots, the treads, to make sure that you can actually sustain through all this damage, because once you get pounced, there's really very little you can do to escape. So very important there. But beyond that, what we're actually looking at is, yeah, a lot of momentum generated from the Slark. Finding solo kills on Enigma is exactly what he wants to do at this stage in the game, and now actually going in towards No Tail, who just cannot find a safe place to farm. Goes in for his Tranquil Boots, which has some positives and some negatives. They do break when he takes sweat. They do provide a huge amount of HP regen to himself and all of his Meepo clones. Speaking of, he does have one up on top lane, leeching a lot of experience up there.
Yeah, Leechy, I think also not just Leechy, but obviously I think he's getting ready to move in an Earthbind and then poof to it in a second. Meanwhile, they have a bit of a fight. Slark comes in here, trying to simplify, gets Ghost Shield, though, Brave Shield rather, gets spotted up as well. Oh, Lasso as well, back into the fire. And he will be dragged back in. And now we see the Meepo, second Meepo now trapping. Poor old Lone Druid, he poofs in. There we go. See, it's the mobile gank squad. He will just jump in. So he's farming mid and then setting up for a gank up on top. And No Tail might be able to recover a bit of his GPM at the moment if he can keep this kind of stuff up. And also, obviously, slow Envy down. Definitely quite necessary as well. Also, interesting enough, Lone Druid going for the phase boots, early phase boots, so he's not rushing for that Radiance right now.
So putting pressure out on mid lane. He's actually going to go for the poof. He doesn't have the ensnare though. The one that poofed in did not have enough mana, and the one that had the mana unfortunately missed that Geotrap. So that's not going to work out for them, and the Earthbind will completely miss out on that one. But in general, they're gaining a lot of control. Those 2 kills up top it was exactly what Fnatic needed to really get a handle on this early game. Arteezy just going in a little bit too aggressive, and as soon as the sentry dropped, they were able to Dragon Tail, Lasso, get so many disables, and escapable as he may be, he had already used his Dark Pact to do damage, not to escape. And as a result, he couldn't get on out of that one. Now we do see going out on bottom, Slark will connect with the pounce. Should be a kill here on Trixie. TV's coming on in to try to help him out. It's a lot of damage coming in on top of the Slark here, and that is going to be Dragon Knight, but he doesn't have enough mana for anything. So hiding on out, Slark getting HP from his passive, and Bone7 able to just walk on away. So I think they're both going to be able to get on here. No, they're going to go in deep. Dragon Tail underneath the tower though. Slark perfectly times the Dark Pack, but still gets dropped down from Hani's big nuke coming across. Bone7 finishing off on the Dragon Knight with one more swing. Has to go on the run now after the fact. Actually, no. What is he doing, Bone7? I mean, they have so many ways to finish him off, and No Tail is going to be number 1. Jumping on top of him. Just needs one single ensnare. Earthbind will land. Come on, Earthbind. Where is that? Waiting it out a little bit there, and it does finally connect. So they get that there. They get the right clicks. They finish it off. Visage ending a dominating spree for 431. Oh, actually, there is one more. There. Clockwork jumped on in. He's going to get the hook and successful battery assault on top of Hani. Won't be able to do too much to No Tail, though. He's going to get a lot of Geo Strikes, and with the Napalm, this should be a death of Come With Me. Here comes Slark, though, turning around. No Tail is not leashed by the pounce, but still have to go on the run while the Orb of Venom slows him down pretty hardcore. Going to be able to just poof defensively, but that pounce will finish the job. And Trixie, I don't know if he can clean it up. All the cooldowns have been popped off. There's the cogs. Trixie going to try to get them both right here, but the Firefly has unfortunately expired. Only has right clicks, and he's going to have to use them here as... Oh, big breathe fire. That turned it around. Trixie would have died there, but instead, Beautiful rotation from Dragon Knight. Came in just at the right time to get 2 kills without losing the Batrider at all. That was exactly the timing they needed to really, really turn things around in their favor. 9 to 8. There's a Malefice coming out. Lifestealer, he won't die to it or anything, but certainly force off the tower, whereas they're going to do damage over time with the Elder Green Dragon form, and they have the Eidolons to tank and push. So they're going to be able to put a lot of damage in this tower, but meanwhile, Lone Druid doing the same thing up top.
I feel like I'm watching the freaking Russians play, and I mean that in a good way. There's so much skirmishing going on. They're fighting non-stop all these lanes, just porting in, somebody dies, another person puts. It's just on like just a rolling fight. And now on the bottom lane, the fight is still going. They've been harassing the crap out of Bonus 7. Bonus 7 counters though, comes in with the slow, forces him to port out. Enigma going all the way back to base. They're going to heal up and then come back out. Is going for that early mech once again. It looks like finally the fight going to die down at long last. Nobody's skirmishing anywhere else on the map. RTZ, though, using his mobility, going to head towards the mid lane. Looks like he's going to pick up some early drums as well. Also got the magic wand on the way.
Yeah.
He might not go for drums. He might just, get the brace for early stats. And he does need it. Of course, he's been getting picked off just because of lockdowns. The stuns across incredibly painful dealing with at this point in time.
Now, that TP coming out from Fly was actually really, really important. He knew that the Clockwork had just missed his hook shot and couldn't close in to get a stun, and that the Slark was only just then TPing in. So there was no way for him to get interrupted, and of course with the Slark not being there, they didn't have the damage to bring him down. So he's just like, okay, well, I got open wounds, I can just get out of here scot-free. And meanwhile, they were putting pressure on Lone Druid up top and getting a kill on him. So Eternal Envy's farm has been drastically reduced. This is about the CS he had a few minutes ago. He's really just not been finding it out too much. He got the tower kill, which means he's still very high up on GPM, but No Tail nipping in his heels. Moving him forward, he is level 11, and has a decent pool already going in for the power treads. And next on the little shopping list, there's a couple different options. He could go for a Vlad's, a Mechanism, Blink Dagger, but generally
He won't do
speaking,
mech.
we do see
We've already got it on.
Yeah.
It's already been built on Enigma.
Pretty much. So, tower dropping very, very quickly.
He's killing top. No Tail is killing top right now. He's going to try and port out. Port's cancelled though. Another Earthbind tossed down. This is really good from No Tail. These two, they're just sitting. 2 guys up here, just getting ready to gank. And like this tower down is actually really working against Lone Druid. He's got to push further up lane, gets caught out every time. But now the gank on the bottom lane, they will lose, who we assume is Error. Just getting, I'm pretty sure it's Nake's bomb by a hook there.
Yeah, they closed on in, were able to bring him down, but they lose a tier 1 tower up on mid lane. They're going to try to put some pressure down on the tier 1 bottom. Fortification is available if they want to try to go for a tier 2/tier 1 TP to try to hold the line, but taking a lot of hits here. The fortification does come out, but that's just because they want to look to clean it up. TP scroll not available on the Clockwork or the Slark, so timing is very, very much of the essence, but it looks like they're not going to be able to engage in that position there. Instead, they just let No Tail do his thing. Just farming it up very, very nicely, and he's almost actually sitting at 2,000, so halfway to his Aghanims if that's his item of choice. Either way, No Tail in a really, really good position at level 12.
Yeah, I was looking at the farm now. It was heavily favouring the Dire, 2k advantage before the 10-minute mark, but they have managed to claw that back quite nicely, just around about 500 at the moment. As we see, looks like a bit of ancient sharing going on. Lifestealer being helped out by Come With Me there. Just going to clean that up. But meanwhile, No Tail, the Meepo patrol is still running around the Dire jungle. It's farming out. That said, wow, okay, this is interesting. He's got the Meepo split out quite a bit here. In fact, they're probably going to find this one. Just dodges, so will get stunned out, and he's probably going to die from this. Will he poof out in time? Just gets away. Wow. Holy crap, No Tail probably sighing with relief there. That was Meepo Prime too, so he's gotten back to there. The hook in though. It's a Nake's bomb. Oh no. Can he throw it in the... Oh no, he gets cogged in there, and that's probably the end there. He will get picked off.
Yeah. Now, do you know if VS had swap? Hyladai was level 6, and I don't think she's used the swap this entire game, so I really don't know why they didn't swap him out of that TP. Luckily, the Clockwork, of course, cleaned it up, so it wasn't a loss, but it's still just kind of unfortunate that they had to commit more resources to bring him down if they could have just swapped him out of the poof.
Yeah, actually, I didn't notice. I didn't check. I'm going to assume she didn't know. If she had, like, they stunned him once. If she had it, she must have done it. She would have done it, I think.
Yeah. Anyways,
there was
a pick-off on the Slark. That's them committing more and more sentries. Actually, we see 3 sentries drop down in the river just to make sure they can nab this little fella, but it's well worth it. They're going to be able to put pressure on the tier 2 and mid, and that's dropping down to about 300 HP with this Siege Creep just taking it away. So really, really good aggression coming out from Fnatic, and yeah, they're putting some points on the board. It's 12-10. Gold is just barely in favor of Kaipi, but not by much at all. And experience was, until just a moment before, all in favor of Fnatic, and we've got to look at the density of that as well. Meepo sitting at level 12, and the Dragon Knight and everybody else sitting at 10 or below. So really, the no-tail advantage is really the thing that you're looking for. But surprisingly, Bone 7 on the Lifestealer, even without a Midas, is keeping a little bit on par with that of the level of the Meepo. So kind of surprising there, but it just means that he's been very active, setting up 5 kills for himself, and of course 1 assist on top of that, while just farming very, very actively.
Yeah, I mean, well, we've got to also keep in mind, Meepo had a really crappy start.
Sure.
He got ganked, he got picked off, and he really just couldn't. I mean, the fact that Meepo's caught up, so the fact that Meepo at 15 minutes in, after that start, I mean, he had, like, 3 CS at, like, the 5-minute mark. He was not doing too well at all, and he's up to 400 GPM now. He's really quite flash farming his way back towards victory, but that said, I don't know if it's going to be fast enough, especially since he's getting, like, they can pick him off really easily with a clockwork hook and cogs, which is somewhat bothersome, but we'll see. RTZ though, what's he building now? He is he going for, yeah, he is going for his drums right now. He has picked up as he is going to get oh no! Gets cancelled by the Dark Pack. I don't think he even meant to do that. That was just being used to farm creep. Lucky break for him there.
Yeah, very fortunate indeed. That dispel was so clutch, and it means that honestly, based on he's probably assuming that they had a ward up in that position, and so he's kind of concerned about where exactly it was, if it's kind of camping up the high ground here or what. But yeah, the end result is that Slark is now shown how jumpy he can be, and I don't think that the Trixie's going to make that mistake again. I don't think he's going to ever commit a lasso for the remainder of the entire game on that, when he can go and focus it on somebody like Lifesteal or Lone Druid instead.
I mean, it's worth a crack. I think it's worth
it really,
a crack.
if it's on cooldown, of course, that's complete nonsense. But I'm just saying, when that Dark Pack is available, just what he saw there, it gets into your head a little bit. You're like, okay, well, how fast are his reflexes? Is he really going to be able to dodge out of every lasso I throw at him? So, of course, if it's on cooldown, never mind. But I'm just saying, if he hasn't seen Dark Pact, at least I, as a player, maybe that's why I'm not a pro, but even remotely, but I, as a player, would be extremely hesitant to try to go for that again. Either way, farm it up nicely. We do see Slark moving in for a Drums of Endurance very shortly, giving him a lot of nice durability and attack speed to make sure they can Essence Shift away very, very rapidly. But in the meantime, we do see some other big item pickups. So we are seeing, of course, a lot of aggression coming out from the Fnatic, and looking at Meepo, he is only 800 away, even less so, to pick up that Aghanim, and that's going to be a really big deal.
I think he's going to die, though, top lane. He's in a lot of trouble there, and he's not really near away. There's a stun. They're going to pick off one. I think he's probably being a little bit too aggressive right now, and he's probably got to consider that they can kill him fairly easily now, because he's not really invested a lot of stuff into stats at the moment, so he's going to have to watch out for that. That said, like you said, he's pretty well. Actually, he was a lot closer. Now he's down to 1k away from it, so that is going to delay it quite a bit. So I think he's probably being a little bit too aggressive. I mean, he had that huge close call up at the top, barely got away, and now it's, you know, they've got high level stuns, high level skills. I think continuing to push up there is probably, he's going to get killed every time he tries that, so he should probably cut that out. We have an Infest Bomb though, getting ready. Clockwork, who looks like he's actually building Blade Mail at the moment, is getting ready to jump in with a buddy.
Opportunity, throws out the Rocket Flare, might get one. No, he misses a hook shot on Fly. Very unfortunate for them. Bone 7 jumps on out, says, okay, screw this, I'm going jungle. But yeah, that counter gank initiative didn't work out. And oh my goodness, one big thing was this tier 1 was deniable this whole time. It was sitting on 126 HP. Oh, Trixie coming on in, looking for a lasso, but not going to find it. Flame Break's just going to give Artesia a nudge in the right direction. Either way, actually trying to turn around. Wow, Trixie goes to the lasso on Bone 7, but taking so much damage that it will be nullified by his death. So now, Bone 7 coming into the mid lane to farm. Might bite off more than he can chew if they do actually counter-initiate with the Dragon Knight, but he seems to be content with stacking up these Ancients here. Either way, what I was going to say about the tier 1 on bottom is that it was deniable this whole time, and they just kind of missed that completely and let Enigma take it away. So, nice nab by Fly, but also a bit of a misplay by Kaipi.
Yeah, as at the moment, looks like he is just going to... Oh, Dragon Knight has picked up his armlet. And did he get that stack? No, he just stacked it again. He popped the ult, getting ready to farm it, and then came back to defend mid. So looks like you're going to have RTZ charge forward. I think he's just trying to bait out some stuns on him, just charging forward with the Dark packed up. But they are going to clean up. The Dire are going to get their hands on Roshan pretty easily. They've picked up, actually, Vengeful Spirit, I think she's had the medallion for a little while now, but with that negative armor, very, very easy Roshan kill there. And the dewarded as well, so they know they're not being watched. I honestly don't think there's much Fnatic could really done to contest there as well. Enigma doesn't have the mobility right now to get the black hole in there.
Yeah,
And Dragonite's still busy in farm mode.
Yeah, but I mean, he's gotten a lot out of it. He's jumped up 1,000 gold, and he's going to be able to move in towards his next big thing pretty quickly. So his net worth still is behind 3 core heroes of Kaipi, and that's probably their biggest disadvantage is Lifestealer's amazing farm, having Aegis and Desolator already. But you know, it's not insurmountable, especially with this Meepo. Having finished up the Aghanims, he's going to be farming more. He's going to have the spread. He has one up top, hiding out in the jungle. He has 2 farming down bottom, 1 in the mid. So he's keeping a good spread. He's getting a lot of experience. He's about to hit level 16, and that is his time to shine as far as just having so much devastating kill potential, ganking up aggressively. But of course, he needs the setup, and we're going to be looking for maybe a Blink or Lothars out of the Dragonite, or a Blink for the Enigma to set him up.
Yeah, Meepo, once he gets at level 16, I mean, he's really close. I should also mention he's constantly fighting for top spot in GPM at the moment. He and Lifestealer keep trading spots. I think it just comes down to whenever Lifestealer manages to get a big wave of creep, because at the moment Meepo is sending a lot of, Meepo isn't farming as hard as he possibly can right now. He's sending a lot of these Meepos, he's spreading them out, getting ready to gank with them. And you see he's got one that's actually farming in the mid, and the other 2 down bottom getting ready to gank. The top one up there as well is hidden away. He's going to poof that out though. I think they've actually decides to just bring it down to the bottom. I think they're actually getting ready to push the bottom lane against Druid and probably pick him off. Also should mention that Druid appears to be going for Assault next, has picked up a plate mail there.
Yeah. And he already has his Vlad, so talked about this a couple times today, but plus 10 armor for your entire team. You're worried about physical damage from the DK's cleave, from the Meepo clones. Yeah, you're going to be able to nullify a lot of that. Instead, we see Lasso coming in on bot, though, and with so much poof action, there's nothing the bear can do in this situation. Just getting slowed, right-clicking away, but he will, of course, fall. And with that, they should go for the 2-2. Actually, Come With Me comes on into this. They've already lost a hero, but I guess Lasso's on cooldown. Either way, a lot of damage coming to Enigma. He falls before the black hole comes out, only using the mechanism. RTZ will be able to escape, but Bone 7 taking way too many right-clicks. He drops the Aegis in the ground. Highlighting going to take some nukes here. Should fall in a moment. So the real target is Bone 7. Immediately incinerated. Perfect timing of No-Tail's poofs. They kill the VS. They kill that Lifestealer. And the only one remaining, RTZ Slark, gonna have to just skitter on away back towards a safe haven, because right now No-Tail's farming away, they're taking towers, and they should be able to move one up towards the top lane to give even more experience to this Meepo. He's just out of control, so much right click damage, perfect timing on the poofs, and it's gonna get even more devastating if he picks up a heart.
I mean, to take away from Fnatic, that was a good result. I'm honestly a little bit surprised though that we didn't see a black hole go down from Enigma. Battery Assault wasn't up, so there were no stuns coming out through there. I mean, sure, there might have been a swap waiting, but even like half a second of stun against those guys would have been helpful. I mean, he was pretty much going to die otherwise, but it looks like they're going to try and take this tier 3. They will get the tier 3. Can they get the Rax is the question. I mean, they could even throw No-Tail away for this. It's definitely worthwhile getting that Rax. They are going to charge in, though. We're going to have the nets go down. EE in a lot of trouble. The Poofs go down and obliterate Vengeful Spirit. She's back up a buyback. We've lost Nakes as well. They're going to keep fighting, though. They will manage to bring down the Rat Rider as well as the Dragonite. We've also lost poor old Visage, so they won't quite get the Rax. It was a close thing, though. And RTZ also almost dying in the attempt. And I'm going to say one thing that probably factored in heavily there. Enigma went back to base. I think they should have kept him. I mean, he had Black Hole and everything. He should have been there.
Yeah,
I really think
he has some Black Holing on mid. No-Tail going to go ahead and get an Earthbind off immediately after the poofs come on through. He does get the right click to finish off the tower, but he pays for it in exchange with his life. And with him being down for a full minute, the presence that gives for Fnatic on the map, that's obviously not a favorable change. Generally speaking, like a support trading his life for a tower, easily worth it. But in this position here, it is life, so that it is their main farmer, and he could be doing so much more with that time. So unfortunate, but as a whole, they have a lot more problems to deal with. They have to worry about this Meepo and what he's going to be putting out. One thing I was under, actually, RTZ might get a kill here. Invisibility Rune stocking up on Fly, so he should be able to pick him off. But anyways, we're looking for No-Tail. They really want to go in hard. Oh my gosh, all the poofs coming in through. Pilot trying to go for the magic missile, and the big damage coming across. No-Tail's still alive though, and instead just swap death. Arteezy gets dropped down in Sentry. Oh, No-Tail's TP interrupted. Come with me, can he finish it off? Flame break out of the cogs. No-Tail's still up. He gets mech'd. He will survive, and that means that he will be able to persist and pushing very, very actively. All he has to do is get another TP. 1 minute from now, he'll be happy, safe and sound, and full in his space. And in the meantime, all he has to worry about is the Druid, which is doing very, very little. So that was just perfect. And the reason why...
He bought a Blink.
Oh, wow, yeah, and Blink Dagger, amazing. The reason why I was so impressed in the fact that they saved him, other than the fact that the Flame Break and Mechanism was amazing, is the fact that he had his buyback on cooldown. If he was down for the count. A level 21 hero. Just way too long to be without him. So it was a really clutch save, and it's going to allow them to push really hard to finish off these racks.
In fact, he's going to have that Meepo Prime go back and farm them, or stop the mid lane at the moment, keep that tier 2 up. And he doesn't really need that Meepo that badly at the moment. He's already got 4 others in the mix. Batrider now going to move in there, blinks in, goes to the lasso, doesn't get it, doesn't get range. 4 staffs away before he can get rooted. And the question is, can Dragon Knight finish off this Rax? Yes, they will manage to brick it off eventually, but it looks like they're going to lose Arrow in the... Oh no, he gets away. Hook comes in, going to catch out the Enigma as well. Boxes him in there with the Nakes. I think he popped both of them, preventing the Nakes. Also, Blade Mail going down there as well, but they will manage to pick him off anyway. But I think definitely a worthy trade. They're probably going to lose Dragon Knight as well. Pops the armlet, trying to keep himself alive. It was a good swap there from Pilot Eye, but it won't matter. They got the Rax, got what they came for, and Meepo is still farming.
Yep. Doing what he can. That's the really important thing. Now, one thing is he will kind of start tapering off as soon as he hits 25. He won't be able to stay on top as far as, I mean, he won't gain the experience that he's been. And he's actually, one mechanic of Dota 2 is that, or actually Dota 1 as well, is he's still going to be seeping the experience, leeching the experience from his allies. So that's still 5 Meepos that are taking pretty much the entire, half the team's worth of experience in his own hands. Now, Bone 7 should be dropped down here. He could go for the first. No, it's on cooldown from that really good Clockwork initiation. Now going in No-Tail, they're going to try to lock him down, but just going for all these Earthbinds, and No-Tail keeps on dodging out the potential hook, which is only just now coming off cooldown. Instead, poofing on in, they kill Come With Me. Screw Blade Mail, just do so much damage, it doesn't matter, and they can just poof back home to safety with this TP, or rotate it around so he can stay active on the map. But he is at level 23, and in 2 levels, it does mean that he's going to be capped out and still stealing the experience from his allies, so that's going to be kind of a drain on their experience economy as far as Fnatic as a whole. But luckily, they've gotten most of what they need. Specifically, the Dragon Knight is very close to level 16, and once you get the Blue Dragon form, you're pretty much golden.
Yeah, and he's also got his Shadow Blade now as well, so he's going to start to get really, really aggressive. He is scary as all hell when he can just have that stun to come in and lock him down. Of course, once he stuns, and of course, once he gets that stun out, I mean, that's free nets. You get stunned by that Dragon Knight, you're not going anywhere. Meepo's going to make sure of it. So it looks like he's also he's picked up an Ultimate. I wonder if he's just going to go and grab a Hex here. Or if he, well, I mean, if he really wanted to, I mean, he could throw out a Manta Style just for confusion value. Oh yeah, Skadi, of course, fantastic for him. He really needs that health as well. Look at the gank there on RTZ!
Goodness.
The poof gank, ridiculous. The blink is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he didn't have any detection. He just killed him before he could ulti, and then the last half a second of ulti was dead to Geostrike ticks.
Wow, that is actually kind of ridiculous. Although, actually, I thought, shouldn't the Dark Pack have cleared it? Oh, maybe he didn't get that off in time.
Wow, that was just ridiculous.
Definitely.
And that's the timing. He literally, he poofed 4 guys and blinked. All at once. Like, this is the timing of No-Tail's Meepo. He just can go in, and in half a second, that's so much magic damage, then physical damage to follow it up immediately. It's just ridiculous what this guy can accomplish with this hero, and yeah, perfect micro skills coming on through. Using the Blink Dagger, very aggressive. He's all over the place, and honestly, he only has 5 deaths in total, and he's going up against a very single-target, pick-off-oriented team. So, in a great position here, is going to be going for a Skadi, then a Heart, presumably. And if he can get his hands on the Aegis, which will be spawning in just 2 minutes, then that should be GG. Like, if you get the Aegis Meepo in this kind of a game, in this state of the game, you're just going to be able to run rampant. So, we'll see how it plays on out. But right now, this is ridiculous. It looks like Heaven's Halberd is an item of choice for DK, and I really do like that against the Lifesteal and Lone Druid. So, should be pretty effective. But at the same time, Druid should be finding his Assault Karas in just a moment. Yeah, he already has the Hyperstone, so only needs less than 700 to find that AC, and of course that does make quite a bit of an impact itself.
Yeah, the Heaven's Halberd definitely, I think, a solid choice here. Looks like Clockwork is, I mean, that could be an Argus or it could be a BKB just to try and help deal with the fact that he can armor or he can magic immunity up and try and dodge the poofs. Although that said, with the speed that No-Tail is throwing out these poofs, like you mentioned, killing the poofs and then blinking is utterly nuts. I don't think he'll even have the reaction speed to stop that because we saw exactly how fast that poor old Slark got blitzed there by it. But right now, Lone Druid, he's getting very close. He's like, what, 400 gold away right now, and he'll pick up that assault, which is definitely going to help. She's Meepo right now. Is that one thing he's got plenty of armor. He's going to be okay against that. Although, no, actually, no. Come to think of it, if he gets Medallion, the right target, Medallion and Wave of Terror, that's actually going to make him very squishy now that I think of it.
And they have the Desolator on the field, too, from the Lifestealer.
Oh, yeah.
So they could focus it. They could focus it really hard. And with a Bash coming out for the Lifestealer as well pretty soon, they can lock down Meepo. But at the same time, Meepo does so much damage in that time period that if they get even a halfway decent Black Hole off because they're focusing so much attention on this 1x5 guy, then they can just let the rest of the team fight kind of fall where it may.
Here's one other thing I want to bring up. Meepo has more health. Like, when was the llast time you saw a Lone Druid with less health than somebody else on the board?
Yeah,
Meepo has more. Like, Meepo is the fattest hero on the board right now at 2.3 thousand health. plus that 17 armor as well. He is, like, do you think Dragonite was hard to kill the match before? My god, Meepo's got like 700 more health plus, a comparable amount of armor. As we see, the Batrider managed to pick up at Yule's there. But he's going to be so hard to kill. And then, of course, we've got to keep in mind that Meepo, even though in this case it's not going to be as big a deal, but Meepo, of course, has the 35% innate magic resistance. Although it's not going to matter as much here. But it's just that speed at which he's leveling up. Obviously, like you said, going to taper off now. But they are just going to go in. It looks like they're going to try and push that top. Oh, this is smart. Like, they're smoking in. They're just going to charge in here, pick this rat, and then just sweep the mid. I think it's a really clever move from there. The question is, how many TPs do we have here? Bear doesn't have a TP. Oh no, they're just going to smoke in from behind. We get the lasso down there on Envy. Envy's going to get dragged out of position, recalls the Bear. Can we see a Black Hole coming in? We're going to see the Flame Break going there as well. The lockdown is on RTZ. RTZ probably going to die. We'll get brought down there as well. Dragonite also going to throw the lockdown on Bone7. Bone7 goes down. Mech gets thrown out from the Radiant side. And now Come With Me left to walk away all on his own. And I think that's a free Roshan there.
Yep, just handing away. It looked like he wanted to go for an Aegis still. Like, he dropped his TP scroll as if he's going to hook in and try to snipe it, which I extremely doubt. But anyways, No-Tail coming up top. I'm going to make sure that that's not an option whatsoever. It's going to be, yeah, Trixie coming on in with some Napalm. Frustration. Well, they just continue to rush it away, and No-Tail has that Aegis. Let's check his main item set. He has the Aegis. He has just raw stats. Eagle Song, Ultimate Orb, all he needs. Oh my gosh, that block. Trixie, oh my goodness, what a player. Right there. Jumps in front of the hook shot so that he could not hook to the creeps that were in the base, which was his exact intention. He clicks the creeps, and unfortunately he hits bat. And with that, Clockwork down for 40 full seconds. He does have buyback, but they're at such a state of behind as far as gold goes. I mean, over 12,000 gold advantage, and any buybacks will be so costly if they want to have any shot. But they don't really have a choice. Look at how fast they chew through these towers. No-Tail jumping on in. Backdoor protection. Well, actually, no BD protection on this anyways, but even so, I think you could manage to chew through it. Buyback comes out from Clockwork, has to in this situation. Looking for the target of choice to focus. Lifestealer not going to get lassoed up. Instead, Trixie's the one to be focused on very quickly. Now Bone7, right like there's that black hole. Swab comes in from Vengeful Spirit, but it's already taken its toll. Damage comes out from No-Tail, right-clicking away. Man, this guy does just too much. And now Come With Me, bringing down Fly with him, maybe, not even. And with that, a 5 for 0 in the middle of the base. Takes down all 6 racks for the GG.
I just want to point out here, like, exactly how much damage Meepo is doing with his auto attack. He's got 5 Meepos. Each Meepo is swinging for 150 each. He's swinging for I'm around about 750 a swing. That is nuts. At 30 minutes in, you were doing, what, 750 a swing with all your Meepos? It's like having almost two Divine Rapiers on a hero at 30 minutes in. There's just no way that Kaipi can deal with that. And as his Meepo, he leached so much experience around the map. He got those ganks off where he needed to, just got so much snowballed out of control level-wise, and that's basically what he needs. Like, once he got there item-wise, in the end, he doesn't really have anything damage-oriented. Pretty much the only thing he's got there is the Eagle Song, which is 25 agility. So, I mean, that's exactly how hard he was. He's absolutely ridiculous. And we're not even factoring the damage there from Geostrike either.
Yeah, just too much. Really, really adds up so quickly. It's ridiculous what he's able to put out with that, and it just... Yeah, that's why it's still a very, very active hero. Countered out by some good AoE initiation disables and magic previously, but now even less so because of that magic resistance buff. So the Slark not able to bring it down in the mid lane very effective, and in general, just No-Tail playing it well. Got shut down a bit early, but bounces back, spreads his Meepos across the grid, and although there was a pick off here and there, the end result is that he gets 219 CS, he gets 14 kills, 11 assists, hits level 25 in less than 30 minutes, and clears out this game. So really, really nicely done by them. A good fighting shot given from Kaipi, but they're going to drop down to go into the third place deciders versus either Alliance or Evil Geniuses. And Fnatic will advance on to the grand finals to fight the winner of that matchup there. So that is it for this one here. Was the best of one between Fnatic and Kaipi. What can you say beyond perfect micro skills? Coming out, No-Tail. Picking up the Meepo and slamming it down on top of Kaipi's, unfortunately, not so fortunate head. So they're going to be going on into the next game, or no, they're going to be approximately 2 hours from now, unless we switch up the schedule again. Kaipi will be facing off the loser of Evil Geniuses versus Alliance, whereas later on in the evening, we're going to be looking at Fnatic versus the winner of that. So that'll be awesome. But for right now, thanks for tuning on in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the commentary of the Premier League Season 5 Aghanim's Cup. If you guys want to check us out on Twitter and support us, we are available twitter.com/blazecasting, twitter.com/triumphofman, and /the Primal League for TPL as a whole. Thanks for tuning on in, guys. Really, really appreciate your viewership, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the commentary as well. We will catch you guys on the next game. which will be Alliance versus Evil Geniuses. See you then.